The advantages that a semi-automatic has over a revolver. In this top 5 list, I am going to be explaining all of these advantages right now. So please like and subscribe before I say something that's really stupid and you decide to not like and subscribe. In the number one spot is the fact that semi-autos are very reliable. I don't know what bad experience you had with semi-autos, but usually when people have a bad experience with girls, they're not like, oh, I'm swearing off girls altogether, okay? Usually that doesn't happen. So I don't know what semi-auto gave you a bad experience to where you think only revolvers can be trusted, but the reality is, if you want to get your hands on a really well-made semi-auto, and I'm not going to say a brand because people will be like, oh, that brand sucks. But if you want to get your hands on one of them, you will find that it is probably not going to malfunction on you that much. And furthermore, there are a ton of things that can happen with revolvers that can make them malfunction. But nobody seems to talk about it because they're like, I don't know, maybe it's not politically correct. Now, this is a very obvious one. Semi-autos usually have more magazine capacity. And yes, if you're in a restrictive state, having your 5 to 6 shots in your 357 with a 6-inch barrel could be better than having a 10-shot magazine of 9mm. I could argue with that, definitely. I agree with you. But a lot of people who don't live in those states that ran by people that are communist like the fact that they could put 15 shots in their semi-automatic handgun or more, and that having that extra amount of ammunition is a very good thing, especially when you're going into what would you carry while you are bugging out or when the shit hits the fan versus what are you carrying when you're just going out to the gym or going to the store at a place where there's not tweakers running around everywhere. Now in the number 3 spot, I know there's one of you that has some performance series Smith & Wesson revolver where you can put a full moon clip in there and reload it really, really quick. But a lot of revolvers do not have full moon clips. And the average Joe who's into guns can reload a semi-auto a lot quicker than a revolver. And that is just how it is. Fumbling around with speed strips or even a full moon clip and having to extract the shells out is a lot more of a learning curve than just dropping the magazine and popping a new one in. And then either releasing the slide stop or doing that really awesome thing where you just pull back on the slide and let it go, which I personally prefer to do. That is a lot easier to learn and a lot quicker for most people than having to do that revolver stuff. Now we run into the subject of trigger pull. In general, it's better on a semi-auto. And I know you can make your revolver have a really great trigger pull. That's awesome. But then you can make a semi-auto have an even better trigger pull, usually than the best trigger pull achievable on a revolver. You do not have to pull it as far. It usually is lighter, and that means that you're going to get better follow-up shots or just more accuracy in general because you didn't have to pull as hard on that trigger. And yeah, I know there's revolver pros out there that know the ins and outs of the revolver and are comfortable with that revolver trigger pull. But in general, I personally think it would be a lot easier to just have that semi-auto with that lightweight trigger. Now in the number 5 spot is the fact that the world over, it seems that no current militaries or law enforcement agencies that are very respectable have the revolvers and are using them. And that says something. That says something. I'm pretty sure if the revolver was better than the semi-auto, you'd hear about it all the time that some elite unit of well-trained fighters would all have revolvers and not semi-autos. I just personally haven't seen it. Let me know if you have. And I think this speaks very, very loud when you think about who are the people that actually go through war zones and fight, and what do they carry, especially people that get to choose what they carry, like somebody who's a defense contractor. I personally have never met one in my life that took a revolver over a semi-auto. Honorable mention: semi-autos are not ridiculously hard to learn how to use. Some people over the years has said, "Oh, give that person a revolver, not a semi-auto, because they're new to guns." That person needs to get more training, not a different gun that's easier to learn how to use. I will say that a hammerless revolver, pretty easy. You open it up, extract the shells, put more rounds in there, close it, it's ready to go. Whereas a semi-auto takes a little more steps, and definitely a revolver with a hammer takes more steps. If the hammer has been cocked back and that person does not know how to decock that hammer, that's more of a difficult thing to learn how to do than using a semi-auto, seeing that if they mess that up, the gun will go off. So don't give up on your hopes and dreams. If a semi-auto is right for you, you will learn how to use it. It does not require you to go through a ton of training. You will learn how to use it. I sure hope you learn how to use it. You can and you will learn how to use it, okay? Do not give up on your dreams in life and say, "Oh, well, at one point I decided to get a semi-auto, but I gave up on that dream, so I got a revolver. It's just too hard to use, man." I don't want to hear that. Just learn how to do it. Thank you for listening. In the comments section, I would like you to tell me what gun you personally trust your life to day in, day out for concealed carry. Let us all know what it is and why you like it. Have a good one.